Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked Niti Aayog to prepare a visionary roadmap for India's growth. Interacting with members of the Aayog yesterday, PM said India needs transformational change that can only be driven by drastic changes in policy. PM also asked Niti Aayog to focus on human resource development and work towards intensive partnership with all states who should be equal partners in economic and social development. PM emphasized the need for technology-driven governance to ensure speed, transparency and accountability. After effecting key amendments in the GST bill, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramaniam held several rounds of talks with leaders of Congress and other parties, including Samajwadi Party, JDU and CPIM yesterday to form consensus. Congress has described the exercise as constructive and positive. During discussion on the issue of price rise in Lok Sabha yesterday, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley rebutted charges levelled by Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said inflation is under control and is expected to reduce further with good monsoon. Jaitley said that numbers measured had been put in place to curb price rise even as the situation was far better than in the previous UPA regime when inflation was in double digit. The union government has asserted that it is giving all possible support to Andhra Pradesh to meet losses due to division of the state. Speaking in Rajya Sabha yesterday during discussion on grant of special status to Andhra Pradesh, Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu said the centre will fulfill all promises made to the state under the Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act 2014 in a record time. Listing out a slew of initiatives taken for the state development, he said that no government has ever done as much work for the state in the country's history as the NDA government. The efforts to preserve India's forest and jungle life will soon get a legislative boost as the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Bill 2016 got an approval from the Rajya Sabha yesterday. Lok Sabha has already approved it. The bill will promote afforestation activities as a way of compensating for forest land diverted to non-forest uses. Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar, making statement in Lok Sabha yesterday, said as India-China border is not formally demarcated, there are areas where both sides have different perceptions about line of actual control. He also said that what happened on 22nd July in Uttarakhand was transgression, not incursion, and India has raised the issue with Chinese authority. Heavy rains have aggravated the flood situation in many north and northeastern states. In Assam, flood situation remains critical in 21 districts. Over 16 lakh people have been affected. New areas have been inundated due to breach of river embankment. Rescue and relief operations are underway. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will visit Assam tomorrow to take stock of the flood situation. India and Bangladesh have agreed to immediately operationalize the agreement on combating terrorism and organized crime and illicit drug trafficking between the two countries. During the Home Ministerial-level bilateral talks between India and Bangladesh in New Delhi yesterday, the ministers also agreed on the need to sign a repatriation treaty to simplify and expedite the process of repatriation of each other's nationals. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will visit Islamabad on 3rd and 4th August to attend the meeting of Home Ministers and Interior Ministers of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation Nations. It is likely to focus on strengthening networking among police authorities of SAARC member countries and enhancing information sharing among law enforcement agencies. Last rites of eminent author and veteran social activist and renowned writer Mahasweta Devi will be performed in Kolkata today. A large number of dignitaries will pay their last respects to the departed soul. Hillary Clinton, while accepting the Democratic nomination for President of the United States at party's National Convention in Philadelphia, has said, "We will not ban a religion. We will work with all Americans and our allies to defeat terrorism." Hillary said, "America is strong because of US President Obama's leadership, but Trump wants Americans to fear the future." Indonesia has executed the first 4 of 14 drug convicts on death row. 1 Indonesian and 3 Nigerians were killed by firing squads shortly yesterday late night. Amnesty International has condemned the execution as a deplorable act that violated local and international law. Indonesia has some of the world's toughest drug laws and has faced intense criticism internationally for resuming executions. 14 mostly foreign drug convicts were sentenced to death last year. China and Russia will hold routine naval exercises in the South China Sea in September, China's defense ministry said yesterday, adding that the drills were aimed at strengthening their cooperation and were not aimed at any other country. The exercises come at a time of heightened tension in the contested waters after an arbitration court ruled this month that China did not have historic rights to the South China Sea and criticized its environmental destruction there. The Turkish authorities have announced the closure of 131 media organizations as crackdown continues following the failed coup on 15 July. Military top brass has also been reshuffled. At least 246 people had died during the coup and more than 2,000 people were injured. The suspense over wrestler Narsingh Yadav's Olympic participation was yesterday prolonged further after the National Anti-Doping Agency deferred its final verdict on the doping scandal surrounding him to Saturday or Monday, a day after Narsingh and his lawyers presented their case on failed dope test, which they said was a conspiracy against the grappler. NADA's legal team gave its arguments against the sabotage theory before the disciplinary committee.